By one estimate, Americans will spend more than $1 trillion this Christmas. Luke Burbank knows how you can make certain some of that cash stays close to home.
'Tis the season for holiday gift guides. 31 fish gifts for your fish-obsessed friends. They're everywhere this time of year, though nowhere may be quite as surprising as this seemingly run-of-the-mill office in Washington, D.C.
I will candidly admit that when we started this a dozen years ago, I thought it was a fun thing to do, okay? And it's just a break of talking about tariffs and policy and regulation.
Scott Paul is the president of the Alliance for American Manufacturing, a trade advocacy and lobbying group that works to strengthen manufacturing in the U.S.
And so the gift guide was kind of like a whimsical thing. It's grown into something much larger than that.
Unlike other holiday gift guides, theirs features only products made in America, from cowboy hat racks made in Wyoming to giant stuffed animals from South Carolina. The list includes more than 150 companies from all 50 states.
This must be a pretty big deal for these companies.
It can be very uplifting to some of these companies because some are like, how did you find us?
Santa Claus has famously outsourced to the North Pole, but Shelby Blondell's workshop is in the backyard of this quiet Baltimore suburb. She's in the gift guide representing Maryland. You see, Blondell dreamed of a better way to dig into the state's official, unofficial cuisine. The result? The sheller.
Now, when you've got the sheller, all you got to do is take this here, give it a crack like that.
Okay.
Her small business is a labor of love that's keeping manufacturing close to home.
All along, I even had a lot of people when I was, creating it of saying, like, you should just be making this overseas. You'll make so much more money. And money's great. We need money to live. But, the cost of what that would have been didn't seem to outweigh kind of that value in my mind of wanting to have this be made here.
Value like partnering with a local fabricator that uses American steel, which means the sheller has avoided the sting of recent tariffs.
If I would have been hit with tariffs of making this overseas somewhere right now, I don't know that I could still be in business.
This gift guide knows that your pets, of course, deserve a stocking stuffer as well. And it suggests Cycle Dog in Portland, Oregon.
Oftentimes I come into this store and
For 16 years, founder Lynette Fidrich and her team have been recycling bicycle tire inner tubes
they actually use an entire inner tube
to make leashes and collars. And yes, this collar does have a bottle opener.
Portland's known for biking, beer, sustainability, and dogs. All of our production happens here, from toy production.
A former Nike employee, Fidrich now employs about 30 workers at her Portland factory. Made in America means higher labor cost and sometimes higher price tags, but to her it also means higher quality.
You know, we make a product and we put it in the dog run and have 100 dogs play with it. And so when we sell this toy, we're like, yeah, it's gonna last. Most people assume that plush toys are made in China. Even my retailers. And I'm like, no, we hand make these here in the US. There's a flag on the tag.
This shirt, Todd Shelton makes them in New Jersey. Gone on an Orvis belt made out of American leather.
Meanwhile, back in D.C., Scott Paul is actually pretty easy to shop for.
These are Black Swan shoes. These were made in Meridian, Mississippi.
For those of us still scrambling for a last-minute gift, he says, look close to home and start with the guide that brings not just holiday cheer, but maybe a little American pride.
No one needs to say everything I have to own or buy has to be made in the United States. That doesn't do anybody any favors, and it's really hard to pull off. If you can't find one thing that looks really cool and is also affordable on our gift guide, I would be shocked. Try it once. The odds are you're going to come back and want more.